Good evening, and welcome to the 2020 commencement ceremony. Please stand for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Dear Lord, I first want to pray for our world and its current situation. Although we don't know the result of this crisis, I pray that you give us hope. Hope to essential workers who are risking their lives daily to provide to our community. Hope to family members who couldn't join us today, and family members who are present. Hope to teachers and staff members who helped us get to where we are today. And lastly, hope to us seniors as we plan our futures and begin this new chapter of our lives. Class of 2020, I pray that you see the light at the end of the tunnel and continue to move forward and find meaning in your steps. May you touch the lives of many with your heart and know that you can make a difference to those around you. I pray for you to receive strength to live a life of so much love, passion, influence, and determination that the world is changed for the better. Lord, I ask that you inspire our seniors to never be afraid to dream big, run strong, and soar high. I pray that nothing holds them back in this life and that you shine over them and fill them with your spirit. All this I ask in your name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. Things may not have gone the way we envisioned as our senior year going. While no one expected us to have to go through one of the biggest milestones of our lives virtually, it must be done for the safety of those around us. But there is no time to feel sorry for ourselves due to circumstances, as we are starting the next chapter of our lives soon. This setback will only help us in life as we learn to be resilient to what the world can throw at us. With that being said, it is with great pleasure that I welcome classmates, teachers, and family to the commencement ceremony for the class of 2020.
Mr. Steve Clark, distinguished members of the faculty and staff, class officers, families, friends, and most importantly, the members of the class of 2020. In mid-March, our lives were altered when the school year was put on hold. Over the following weeks, Microsoft Teams became our new classroom. As you and your teachers transitioned to online learning, we began to realize that graduation ceremonies for the class of 2020 were going to look a little different. I want to commend Mr. Clark and the staff at Dixon High School for their dedication to making sure you and your classmates received an excellent education despite the challenges presented by this new learning environment. I want to thank your parents for supporting you and your teachers while balancing the many changes they face as they dealt with these trials. The understanding they have shown as we have navigated the unknowns of this school year is greatly appreciated. Finally, I want to congratulate you, the graduates of the class of 2020. If there was one word which describes this class, it would be perseverance. Last year, our county faced destruction from Hurricane Florence. In the aftermath of that storm, you came together. You supported your community. You succeeded during a shortened academic year. You helped others in your community get back on their feet. You persevered. This year, we have faced another blow. Our school buildings have been closed, people have been required to stay at home, and new phrases such as social distancing and flattening the curve have become part of our everyday conversations. However, through all of this, you have continued learning. You have completed the journey you began almost 13 years ago. You have made your teachers and administrators very proud. You have made your parents very proud. You have persevered. As you move into the next phase of your life, I want to wish you the very best. May you never forget the challenges you have overcome. May you never forget all those who have helped you along the way. Thank you, congratulations, and may God bless Dixon High School, class of 2020. Miss Allison Calvin.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to extend a warm welcome to everyone watching. While this is not the most ideal situation, it has taught some valuable lessons. We must live in the moment. When working towards that impossible goal, make sure you are taking everything in along the way. Life is about experiences, friendships, and memories. Time does not rewind, and we are the future. Writing this speech was hard because it felt like everything was finally coming to an end. These words I write, they were the end of an amazing 4-year experience. But I've come to realize that life is truly just beginning. Graduating high school is simply closing the first chapter of our lives. We are all headed down different paths, beautiful, wondrous, and terrifying paths. But as we head down these winding roads, we'll always have such a tight-knit community to rely on. To quote the movie that set up all of our unrealistic expectations of high school, we're all in this together. Now, nobody is actually singing on top of the cafeteria tables, but Dixon High School was a place where no one was to be left out. Our class had its cliques, but we always looked out for one another. From Hurricane Florence to COVID-19 and countless more obstacles, we have stood strong and withstood it all. Being born in one of the greatest times of uncertainty in America and graduating through a global pandemic, we've truly been through it all. To quote the words of Winston Churchill, success is stumbling from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. Our educators, administrators, parents, and other loved ones have reached out and supported our class in so many ways during these times. And I truly cannot thank them enough. But we also cannot overlook or lessen our accomplishments because of this. Dixon's class of 2020 will achieve so many great things. As we receive our diplomas and share some of our last memories together, we will never forget this part of our lives. Looking back, I have made so many numerous friendships that led me to truly becoming my best self. Realizing who you are and not being afraid to be that is such a powerful moment. Some of us will find that before others, but I wish you all the best. To teachers that made class interesting, thanks for making learning fun. To Mrs. Kinsley that helped me backstage when I was convinced everyone knew I messed up, thanks for being my biggest supporter. To my friends who never failed to check in on how I was, thanks for just being there. To Miss Moore, who always pushed me to be my best self, thanks for the long list of book recommendations and life advice. To all the guidance counselors, Mr. Clark and Miss Ward, who never failed to let me know of more opportunities on the horizon, thank you for pushing me more than I ever could myself. To my family, who dealt with the emotional roller coaster of a high school career, thanks for endless support. And finally, to the class of 2020, who taught me what a community really looks like. I am so proud of all of you and how far you have come. Leaving on the words of a very wise woman, big or small, there's a difference only you can make. Thank you.
Good evening, parents, family, friends, and staff. Thank you for joining us this evening to celebrate the class of 2020. Seniors, well, for the last few days, I'm sure you have received plenty of advice from people that care about you on what you need to do to be successful. My advice for you is consistent with what I have been telling you for the past few years. Energy bus principle number 1, be the driver of your bus. You are not a victim, but a hero in your story. Invest in hope, faith, and love. Principle number 2, create a positive vision. Your future is ahead of you. Look forward and stay positive. Principle number 3, drive your bus with purpose. Do right. All of you know what that is. If you think it may be wrong, it is. Principle number 4, fuel your ride with positive energy. Smile, smile often, and bring smiles to others. Principle number 5, transform negativity. Negativity destroys productivity. Focus on the things you can control and don't worry about the things you cannot. Principle number 6, love your passengers. To have joy in your life, as I know you desire, give joy to others. Principle number 7, enjoy the ride. You only have one life and one ride. Have fun. Finally, it is not a grade, a state exam, ACT or SAT score, or the money you make that will make you successful. It is not the things you own. It is being your best every day and living a mission of loving, serving, and caring that will make you successful. As John Gordon wrote in The Carpenter, it's the simplest, most powerful, greatest success model of all time. Love, serve, and care. I challenge you to be your best every day and make a positive difference in people. You're awesome. You're the best, and you rock. And if no one has told you they love you today, know that I do. Thank you. At this time, I would like to present the first candidate of the class of 2020, Kirsten Bailey Calliger.
Angel Alexander Acevedo. Matthew Kent Aguilar. Nicholas Ryan Albright. William Ernest Allen. Ayana Nicolette Alvarez. Benjamin Isaac Ames. Samuel Daniel Ames. Olivia Nicole Anderlonis. Karis Grant Ball. Serena Yvette Banks. Robin Emily Barnes. Catherine Elizabeth Bly. Jonathan Patrick Bach. Kaylin Renee Bach. Kylie Jacob Boone. Thomas James Bowie. Gavin Christopher Bradley. Caleb James Breno. Craig William Brannon II. Ashley Jewel Briggs. Laura Gail Briggs. Max Albert Brown. Antonio DeCaries Bryant. Corey Patrick Bryant. Samantha Michelle Burgess. Olivia Jade Bush. Jameson Ann Calhoun. Austin James Camarada. Jillian Caton Campbell. Nathan Allen Carr. Parker Allen Chase. Mackenzie Ann Clark. Zion Alexander Clark. Anthony Alvin Clark. Braden Wayne Clover. Michaela Dawn Coleman. John Gregory Collins. Kayla Marie Cordy. Destiny Cheyenne Costin. Eric Anthony Couch. Allison Lee Cowan. Sean Joseph Cox. Larissa Ann Crane. Eric Joseph Davis. Jordan Lance Deese. Blaine Alexander Delacarta. Paige Elizabeth Dingler. Sebastian Andrew Daughtry. Madison Lee Duggar. Ian Dawson Esom. Isaac William Edens. Robin Andrew Edens. Stephen Chandler Elliott. Madison Josephine Taylor Elsie. Hamza Balo Emmanuel. Michael Allen Farmer. Alexis Christine Fell. Doran Lee Fink. Channing Marie Finney. Dante Jacory Finney. Blake Henning Franson. Anna Todd Fretwell. Fiona Susan Freyholtz. John Martin Froisy. Thomas Jackson Gallagher. Hunter Joseph Galvin. Evan Aaron Gillespie. Matthew James Goins. Eric Lee Golick Jr. Nicholas Simplicio Gomes. Allison Mackenzie Green. Claire Elizabeth Green. Kaylee Anne-Marie Gross. Deanna Ivory Gidry. Marcus Isaiah Gulat. Chandler Noah Hardy. Charles Boston Hardy IV. Gavin Paul Harden. Matthew Blake Hardison. Matthew Cade Harness. Brady Squire Hatfield. Michael Wayne Higgs Jr. Jacob Bradley Hubler. Rebecca Isabel Hussey. Taylor Nicole Idonesi. Clayton Tyndall James, Peyton Alexis Jeffers, Haley Marie Jenkins, Daniel Yang, Levi Matthew Job, Jalen Jaheim Johnson, Alexandra Renee Jones, Bailey Elise Jones, Chloe Brooke Jordan, Dylan O'Connell Katsanos, Jaden Ashley Keith, Cameron Rose Kessner, Joseph Stephen Kilgore Jr., Andrew Perry King, Anna Taylor King, Courtney Joanne King, Trinity Michaela King, Christopher Ryan Kitko, Ella Renee Kumalatos, Hallie Eileen Langley, Logan Kane Law, Apollonia Nicole Lawrence, Preston David Lay, Jermaine Noel Lee, Everett Bryson Lewis, Mary Elizabeth Lewis, Emmanuel Adrian Lopera, Sarah Dudley Moretti, James Dylan Marshburn, Summer Elizabeth Martin, Alondra Guadalupe Martinez Felix, Sean Matthew Matney, Cody Eugene McDaniel, Jackson Christopher McFall, Caitlin Lee McKirahan, Matthew Timothy McMichael, Zachary Wayne Mercer, Andrew John Merrick, Matthew Elijah Mills, Rachel Renee Mills, Brandon Jacob Molino, Tyler Jacoby Morgan, Haley Dawn Morton, Corey Mitchell Motes, Caitlin Elizabeth Myers, Bryant Andre Estojero Ananez, Bryce Cameron Napier, Seth Taylor Nelson, Autumn Josie Nicholson, Micaiah Jarnia Nye, Ethan Charles Michael O'Brien, Carlos Alberto Ochoa Sanchez, Madison Elise Arona, Colton Keith Paget, Sean Lumon Parker Jr., Danielle Renee Parrish, McKenna Alexis Parson, Spencer William Perno. Kira Avery Pettit. Jeremy Kyle Pino Joffrey. Lane Catherine Polk. Rashana Joy Pollock. Jared Ryan Pollock. Patrick Nathaniel Price. Derek Edward Prilleman. Tyler Lee Profit. Marco Puente. Cameron Gage Pfeiffer. Morgan Michelle Rademacher. Tamarius Deontay Ramsey. Caitlin Marie Rayner. Ivana Nicole Reeves. Alicia Giancarlo Rebenstorf. Ryuchi Joseph Reynolds. Calith Reynolds Walton. Michaela Kilby Rehart. Christian Allen Rivera. John Monroe Robertson. Ian Patrick Robinette. Dominique Michelle Robinson. Jose Rodriguez. Jonathan William Rogers. Dustin Michael Romaroso. Hannah Rosales. Kayla Ashlyn Rosser. Colin Zachary Rowe. Siona Rose Salua. Caitlin Ray Saunders. Darnashia Essence Saunders. Felicity Lynn Sakella. Dallas Ray Sine. Jacob David Shepard. Trevor Scott Sherwood. Holly Ann Shropshire. Marina Catherine Seabor. Emma K. Silence. Marissa Dawn Silence. Dejira Barbara Ann Penny Simmons. Jaron Michael Simmons. Samuel Andre Simmons, Jr. Rollin Charles Sinclair. Madison Dawn Singleton. Carolyn Sarah Smith. Devin Alexander Smith. Lauren Elizabeth Smith. Leonard Bernard Smith III. Nelson Richard Smith. Ronseer Natavis Smith. Bradley Scott Snodgrass. Alexander Darren Southards. Kyle Neal Southworth. Isabella Cameron Stamper. Brianna Lynn Sullivan. Kenzie Lee Tart. Liliana Elaine Tienda Kowalewski. Faith Tatiana Tolliver. Tyler Daniel Thompson. Raymond Griffin Vega. Jacob Russell Burville. Nija Twanmesh Watkins. Lana Kaylani Watson. Madison Grace Webb. Tori Renee Wells. Nathan Daniel Whited. Jacob Darrell Whitledge. Isabella Mercedes Willoughby. Abby Rose Williams. Dylan Scott Willis. Jonathan Luke Winter Hernandez. Alex Lee Woods, Jr.
This year, our year, is 2020, but I don't believe anyone could have seen this coming. Together, and as individuals, the class of 2020 has experienced some of the most unique, confounding, and challenging events in recent history. First, we were born into a time of mass hysteria in the midst of 9/11 that flourished into an era of extreme patriotism and national pride. We survived a tumultuous generation of domestic terrorism and extremism, where school shootings and bomb threats have turned our safe havens into battlefields. Closer to home, we have experienced cataclysmic events that have hampered our educational growth and robbed us of our universal adolescent rights. And of course, the pandemic of COVID-19, an unprecedented event rivaling only a few trials in the modern history. However, throughout our current ordeal and previous adversities, we, as the class of 2020, bonded into a unified front to emerge from these hardships stronger, more determined, and well adapted. The resiliency displayed by the class of 2020 is a character trait that is envied by many but achieved by few. The overall drive to complete our education and forge through diversity displays the perseverance, discipline, and dedication in each of us. That will translate to future achievements and careers in our personal lives. Resiliency is a major human accomplishment that is utilized and perfected in the most important moments in mankind. Now, the class of 2020's resiliency will be cemented in the history among times of true human character, such as the Civil Rights Movement, the Revolutionary War, or writing an essay for Miss Sherman, or trying to match the remarkable enthusiasm of Mr. Clark. Hardships breed resiliency in the discipline and make strong communities form an inseparable bond. The bond within the Dixon community is unlike anywhere I have ever experienced. Being a military child, I have lived in far too many different places that have seen numerous neighborhoods and communities where biases crippled camaraderie and intolerance and discrimination destroyed dreams. However, when I moved to southeastern North Carolina, I came to revel in wonderful people and classmates in the Dixon community that welcomed me as a member of this strong and resilient community. This community has not faltered or stumbled during these hardships we have faced, but in true fashion has grown stronger and more resilient, making it a model for other communities. This can be perfectly displayed in the friendships and relationships that we have all formed over the past 4 years. The true character of this community is the bond that brings us all together as one, to persevere and flourish. I am proud to be a graduate of Dixon High School. Dixon class of 2020. Although we have hopefully passed our last high school life's tests have just begun. However, we are well prepared, disciplined by our many previously described trials, fortified by the education and life instruction from our teachers, our parents, and reinforced by our community. We are armed with experiences, tools, and resources to conquer any challenge, always ready for the next test.
Good evening. I would like to start by thanking our administration, teachers, family, and friends for getting us through our 4 years and helping us work towards this moment. Life is short, live it. Love is rare, grab it. Anger is bad, dump it. Fear is awful, face it. Memories are sweet, cherish it. Anonymous. When we walked through the doors for the first time in 2016, we had no idea what we had gotten into. Through these years, we have grown up together. In a way, we are like a family. Sometimes we love each other, and sometimes we heavily dislike each other. My mom said I couldn't say the word hate. Regardless, we've watched each other grow up. We've seen each other at our best and even at our worst. We've celebrated many milestones together, from getting our license to becoming legal adults. And now we're here. A moment we've been waiting for, celebrating our accomplishments and last few memories that we can hopefully celebrate together one day soon. I believe everything happens for a reason, even when we don't understand the reason, and even when it seems to completely stop life and throw you for a loop. But I believe that because of this event, we will show our strength as the class of 2020. We've made it through a lot these past 4 years, between crazy hurricane seasons, snowstorms, snow, even when there was no snow, and now a virus. If you ask me, I think we're pretty prepared for any storm that comes our way, no pun intended. In our next steps, what we face will only make us stronger and challenge us to do better. This class is going to do great things no matter the setbacks or the odds that may seem stacked against us. I've been told that because of this pandemic, our class will make history. But I do not want to be known in history because of this virus. I want our class to be known in history because we made a difference, we sought out after our goals, and we will be known as the class of 2020. And no virus could ever amount to the great things the people in this class are going to do, even if it's small. I hope for each of you that in every step of life you live, it's to the fullest, and you give it your all, and you cherish it because you never know when something can be taken away from you in an instant. I think we've learned that well here recently. I hope for each of you happiness. I hope in your own little way you change the world. And I hope one day when you're looking back at life, wherever you are, you remember these moments, just for a little bit. And you remember the fun moments in class, like Lovinggood's elaborate teaching methods and his crazy accents that made you laugh. Or even the times you cried. Remember when you made mistakes because you learned from them. And no matter where life takes you, remember where you came from and who helped you along the way. The tradition of turning of the tassels symbolizes moving on from this moment unto the next chapters of our life as we turn them from right to left. Class of 2020, you may now turn your tassels. Congratulations, class of 2020. You have officially graduated.